Hey everyone, I'm meteorologist Anthony Carpino. Here's a quick update on what we can expect for that upcoming nor'easter later on this weekend. Here's our forecast for southern New England. So we're going to keep an eye on Sunday, especially any outdoor plans that you have for Saturday. We're going to be in good shape there. I don't think we're going to have to worry about any kind of weather kind of impacting us as we go through the day on Saturday. But Sunday, that's where things are going to start to turn a little bit for us. We're going to notice the chance for rain increasing through the afternoon. The winds are going to be picking up a little bit, and then we could even be talking about some coastal flooding as well. As always, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated on the forecast that's going to be impacting you as we go through the next few days. I want to take you guys to the latest on some of our forecast models. So we were looking at the American forecast model. Here's the 0Z overnight run that is just came out, and it's been pretty consistent when you look at the other runs of the American forecast model. So this is starting at Sunday morning. This is about 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see those winds already gusting between about 15 to 20, maybe up to 25 miles per hour. But as we continue to work our way through the day on Sunday, 8 o'clock in the morning, places like Long Island and stretching through Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, Block Island, well, those winds are starting to pick up a little bit more, already gusting closer to 30 miles per hour. The Connecticut shoreline picks up on that a little bit later on into the day. So this is why we're thinking closer to the afternoon. This is about 5 o'clock. So you see those wind gusts starting to increase a little bit more, now getting closer to about 40. The bulk of the heaviest of those winds are really expected during the overnight. So we jump forward here to 2 o'clock in the morning. This is now Monday morning, and now you can see that the greatest of those winds, especially for sections of Long Island where they actually have a high wind watch out, and even that continuing for other sections of southern New England. But places like Block Island, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, areas on the Cape, they could have winds over 50 miles per hour gusts as a strong possibility there. For the Connecticut shoreline, that's probably going to be closer to 45 to 55 miles per hour. There's going to be the one or two outlier stations that report a higher wind gust there, but in general, I think 45 to 55 is still a good bet along portions of the Connecticut shoreline. But you go interior, winds still gusting 35 to 45 miles per hour. That could take down a few branches and cause some isolated outages there as well. So keep that in mind, even if you are away from the Connecticut shoreline. We're still having gustier conditions, gusting between about 25 to 35 miles per hour. Second half of Monday, stretching through sections of Tuesday, and then the winds slowly die down altogether by the time we get through the second half of Tuesday and then going through portions of Tuesday night. One of the other things I wanted to show you guys, looking at the European model, this one has been a little bit different. This has been trending further to the south. It's been a little bit slower. The 18Z run from Friday, the afternoon run Friday night, really showing the bulk of the wind, well, further out to sea a little bit there. So we keep an eye on those wind gusts. You can see the areas of orange and red a little bit more in the way of those heavier wind gusts staying further out to sea. That would be great news, but I'm still a little bit hesitant on this because the European is still pretty much the outlier there. The American model has been a little bit more consistent, so this is what we're kind of still have to juggle a little bit as we go through the next 36 hours or so. So something to keep an eye on there for sure as we move through the next day or so. Now, I want to show you guys what we're going to keep an eye on here as we take a look at the Connecticut forecast, at least as we go through sections of Sunday. So let's talk about this. What we can expect here at home in Connecticut and in southern New England in general. That rain really expected to start for us as we go through the afternoon on Sunday. Those gusts ranging anywhere from about 30, 50 miles per hour. The highest of those gusts expected for the shoreline. Like I mentioned before, you take down a few branches, that could cause some outages there. And with that wind direction at times off the water, that's where we could end up seeing some of that coastal flooding. So our storm is still starting to develop. It's off the coast of Georgia and the Carolinas right now. It's going to continue to work its way closer to southern New England. You're going to wake up Saturday morning, good bit of cloud cover out there, and it's going to hang in there as we go through the afternoon, just continuing to build for us as we go through the day on Sunday. But it's about midday on Sunday where we can see those showers start to increase across Connecticut and southern New England. It'll be raining on and off essentially all the way through Monday night, and then starting to wrap up as we go through the day on Tuesday. Here's a look at the map as far as where we can expect the highest wind gusts. Like I mentioned before, the Connecticut shoreline, right along the 95 corridor, gusts between 45 to 55 miles per hour. There, you work your way a little bit further inland, and that's where you go. You can see those winds slightly lower, 35 to 45 miles per hour. Now, all of Long Island is under that 45 to 55 benchmark there, but I think there could be a few spots on Long Island that actually see some higher wind gusts, and then section for other islands in the area. So Block Island, Martha's Vineyard, as well as Nantucket could definitely see some higher wind gusts at times. And that ribbon of red continues for the beaches of Rhode Island as you get closer to Narragansett Bay, and then as you work your way toward Cape Cod as well. We also have that coastal flood watch that is in effect from Fairfield and Greenwich all the way across the state, the opposite side of the state there to Stonington, as well as the Mystic area. So the entire Connecticut shoreline, and that also continues for Rhode Island as well under that coastal flood watch. That will likely be upgraded as Sunday gets just a little bit closer. So we're really going to focus in at high tide. That's where I think we're going to have the greatest issues. If you're in one of those spots that, tends to have some issues with any other high tide, well, this one will likely end up spilling over a little bit more. So if you go out to the dock and at high tide, the water's kind of lipping right at the top, well, high tide this time, that's likely going to be over the dock. And if it's over the dock, it might cause some flooding on some of the roadways nearby. You know those trouble spots. If you're in one of those towns, you know the road that always floods. That's likely going to happen as we head through the day on Sunday. So high tide Sunday afternoon is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on where you are along Long Island Sound. For New Haven, about 10 after 4. And we can even see about 2 feet, so moderate inundation there, that water moving inland a little bit. So something to keep an eye on. Our winds are going to shift out of the northeast, sustained between 15, maybe even up to 30 miles per hour at times. And again, those gusts along the shoreline will be just a little bit higher there as well. So that's what we're really going to keep an eye on here as we go through, the next several days. We're talking about that system working its way up the eastern coast. We're going to keep an eye on the overall path, of course. As you saw before, the European model still a little bit of an outlier, so things can still change a little bit for us, but you should start to prepare. So if you're in one of those spots that tends to flood a little bit more, take it kind of an account of what's in the area that might need to be cleaned up ahead of time, and keep an eye on some of those branches outside too, just around Connecticut in general. The potential for some power outages will be there when we get winds gusting between 35 to 45 miles per hour. Also keep in mind, we still have a good majority of the leaves on the trees this time of year, so the trees can get blown around a little bit easier than, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks from now. So something to keep an eye on there as well. We're going to have more updates as we go through the next several days, so just make sure to keep it here to this channel, like the video, subscribe, and you can get more updates, what we can expect as we go through the next 36, 24 hours there. So make sure you keep updated. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great day.